So I was very curious about uh, why there is a kind of a gap between the academia and the industry. As the college is more related to computer science studies and business studies, the mixing of these kind of studies, I think it will still at the top of the demand.
People graduate from university and they don't find work, and it's normal because most resume requests are 5 years or more experience.
I really appreciate that you took the question at face value and you chose to be vulnerable and speak about your failures. Not one, not two, but you've mentioned how many times it didn't work out. You could have chosen to hide it.
I really know that there is multiple challenges that we are saving, maybe more than the all of us. But challenges make success. Challenges make opportunities. Challenges make the future.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back with us to Stars in Our Sky podcast, where we bring you bright, shining stars in our industries. Their light is so bright, it doesn't matter where they are in the world. It gets to shine in all our skies, and we're here to bring you their stories. Today, I have a very special guest, a good friend, someone who has definitely left his fingerprints in an industry, on a country, on the startup field, where in the region where he is, a professor at the university. If I go through his resume, we might finish the 40 minutes because his resume looked like a book. We were just joking about that right before. I'd like to present to you all one of our stars, Dr. Hany Ayaad, a national innovation leader who helped shape Egypt's entrepreneurship landscape at scale. He's the executive director of the ISF. He led the country's largest government-backed innovation initiatives, managing 2 billion EGP across 30 different universities. He's also founded the YEN, or YEN, Egypt's largest youth entrepreneurship network. He work spans green supply chain, policy design, startup development, and youth empowerment, grounded in impact, resilience, and the belief that every closed door leads to greater opportunity. He is a faculty member at what is called in Egypt the Academia, or the Arabic Academic University of Egypt. Please, without any further ado, please help me welcome Dr. Hany Ayaad.
No, I think you missed like a good 75% of his accolades, but that's okay. I think, you'll forgive us, please.
Use that another 5 minutes for that, don't we?
Thank you, Balak, for great introduction. Thank you. Thank you.
You've been really busy, Hany.
No, I'm here and I'm available. It's not that much busy, but I like usually doing multiple things at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a characteristic of all of us. It's like, you never see a high achiever just work on one thing at a time. You see people, they're all over the place. They've got a million things happening at the same time, and somehow they keep control over all of it, and they make it look easy. So, yeah, if you're busy with a million things, mate, you are definitely making it look easy.
And it's an entrepreneurial also trait, right? And I was going through your profile and seeing that you're a mentor as well for others. So I think that characteristics probably influences many of the youth out there.
Actually, I'd like to highlight how I joined the entrepreneurship ecosystem.
This podcast is sponsored by eSky, a revolutionary AI-powered state-of-the-art learning management system for small to mid-size enterprises.
As I mentioned, I love doing multiple things at the same time. So I used to be an university a tutor or a professor since 2009. Once I graduated and have been appointed to be an graduate teaching assistant at the university. And usually I'm seeking how or why all our graduates didn't get the proper jobs once they graduated. So I was very curious about why there is a kind of a gap between the academia and the industry. As we are usually less in the word, there is a big gap between what's provided in the academia and the industry. And I could highlight now what is the best answer for such type of question, because what's needed in the industry is 100% uh, uh, um, not based on your academic background, but whatever your score in the academic background, it's not raised than 20 to 30% of the profile needed from the industrial goers. So the industry guys need a persona. These persona classified as follow: 20% is your academic background, about from 20 to 50, almost the upcoming 30%, what are the other skills that you do even inside the university, student activities, charities, whatever. And the other 50%, it's more related to interpersonal skills and how you're communicating, what is the industrial experience you're gaining, etc. So we're starting, me and some of my colleagues and some of the students, to highlight what is the best profile to fit the industry. And furthermore, I think in 2015, one of our colleagues at the university, because our university, it's much bigger than any type of uh, universities, even in Egypt, or I think in our region, because we have more than 7 campuses across Egypt, and each campus have a many colleges. And my college is logistics and supply chain management, specialized college, but we have business schools, we have engineering schools, we have now medical schools and maritime commercial. It's not navy, maritime school as well. So we have a multiple campuses inside one big campus, and in many
This is the
yes,
Arab Academy for Science, Technology, and Maritime Transport, the AASTMT. I just want to
yes,
correct myself because when I said it the first time,
yes,
I
yes,
botched it around, and
yeah.
we want to honor the university. So I apologize for cutting you off. Go ahead.
No worries. And actually, in 2015's, one of my colleagues at the university, they were working on the marketing department, and they initiated some entrepreneurial activities. The word, it's very new uh, at my ears. What's mean by entrepreneurship? What's entrepreneurial activities that could be? And that I found till now, I think it's about 12 years till now, but I found 12 years guy mentioning that he's gonna change the uh, 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 the mindset of and the preference of their potential users about the candles, and how the culture of using the candles. And he started to manufacturing different types of candles with different smells, and started to make a market study, and how and cost structure, and how he gonna sell it, and how he gonna attract the upcoming new members. So I have, in a big stop of my life, thinking it's better than 20 years old graduate from the school. So I need to know more about what you're doing. I will be lovely. I now I moved from a jury member to be, I would like to be a supporter, whatever you want to know more about, how I could help you, and how we could initiate such type of program at the university, or even or school student, or whatever. And from this point, I start to join to some of my colleagues uh, to do some of the entrepreneurship activities. So we started the entrepreneurship center of the university at 2016, I think.
That's awesome. Yeah. I just want to, like, you talked about the gap and the youth, and I noticed this is an international issue. I mean, we've have it in North America as well. People graduate from university and they don't find work, and it's normal because most resume requests are 5 years or more experience, right? So we all see that. Do you feel like the efforts you've put have started to shrink that gap? Do you feel like you've put a dent in this and you're starting to find a solution to this problem, at least in your area?
Actually, one of the solutions that we could capitalize on is building how you're gonna build your profile since your year one at the university or at the school. So how are you gonna build your profile? So you can make they usually asking about uh, 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 2 years and more experience to start with. So I can start to do some of my activities and I can building my profile as experienced fresh graduate. I'm a fresh grad. I'm just graduated 1 year ago, but I have an field experiences my year one. I started multiple activities as student activities program, a charity program, etc. I could participated in many of the activities like Malak mentioned our during our intro about entrepreneurship activities, summits, etc. There is a multiple activities that I could participated in, so I could easily graduated from the universities with at least from 2 to 3 years of experience. From internship, I can do field visits, work activities that I do, some of research activities, case study that we build it with our colleagues and our staff member. So trying to kind of build different type of the traditional graduates, and we can see now based on the we can call it the AI era, some of the undergraduate students making a multiple number of salaries and income in when it compared with those types of traditional type of fresh graduates. We have some of the cases that a medical school guy having a 10,000 USD salary as because he's a developer and he's studying still in the medical school. So now you can diversify your profile to be more fitting for the what we call it the new era of job, because I think starting from now to the upcoming 3 to 5 years, this kind of a traditional job, it will be gonna be dramatic change. uh, at least 60 to 70, 80% will be changed.
Awesome. Dr.
So,
Hill,
Lenny, you're saying a lot of the graduates coming through are struggling. You guys want to give them, like practical knowledge, practical skills. Compared to like the blue collared work where a plumber has hands-on experience, that kind of stuff. Which faculties, in your experience at the moment, is coming out at the top of the food chain? Out of graduate school.
Cancel.org, redefining global consulting, delivering world-class solutions through proven methodology, measurable and sustainable results.
Actually, I will usually defending for my college because I'm studying logistics and supply chain. Yeah, logistics and my humble opinion, logistics and supply chain management, one of the most crucial
Yeah.
topics that will last for a very long time. Once it's starting to be defined after the terminology is starting to be defined after the Second World War, but the importance of the logistics and supply chain, it's much important than what we realized until now. And I think also the colleges more related to computer science studies and business studies, the mixing of these kind of studies, I think it will still at the top of the demand. Uh, for sure, the medical and pharma, but I'm not from that field. In addition to the engineering as well, but I'm not from that field to give lots of my opinion at that. But from the business side, I could capitalize on the again the logistics and supply chain management and the smart application of both of them and computer science and that merging between the part related to computer sciences and businesses mix that I think that will be much important at the upcoming eras.
Nice. Yeah, that's a little bit consistent with things going on at the moment. It's like I think if COVID showed us anything, is how important the logistics and the nightmares that come along with it is. So but yeah, it's interesting to see which professions, because you always we've got some young friends in our family with young kids. They're heading off to college, and like, what degrees should they study? What do we think? Where do we think the world's going to be in 5 years' time, and all that kind of stuff? So it's interesting to try and predict that and make sure that that's actually within people's, they're actually interested in what they're going to go study, in order to get to that point where they can walk out of college and have a beautiful career in front of them. So yeah, it's interesting to hear your opinion on that.
Um, Actually, the majority of the new generation, let's call it that, the Gen Alpha generation, when you're talking about the majority of them nowadays, because of the multiple awareness activity that's related to startups and new innovation, the majority of them would like to be entrepreneurs and would like to have their I have their own startups. My youngest daughter started to discuss with me. She will have her summer startup about making handmade stuff, but she would like to find an influencer, and she know that one of the parents at her school, she's an influencer and have multiple thousand followers. So that's why she would like to talk to her to promote her
He's wrong.
product. And she would like to start about thinking about how to gonna attract the customers. So the mindset of moving from the product centric to customer centric started to be kind of the mindset of the young generation. And myself, I started to realize that maybe after I reached more than 30 years of my age. So I cannot expect how the upcoming generation will think, but my thought is we have to be much quicker to adapt with them. So I think that we have to give them the advice. We need to adapt with their preferences.
It's going to be very, very interesting.
What? This is a perfect segue to what I'd like to ask. So I had the privilege of seeing you in person. We were in the North Coast, or what everybody calls the Sahel in Egypt. We got to meet with each other. By the way, if you haven't been, the most stunning place on earth. You will not get water that looks this good. You will not get funner people than this. But I also follow you on LinkedIn. And the persona on LinkedIn, I have no idea how you get to do. Very few people get to intimidate me in terms of work ethic. Okay. But when I look at your resume, the amount of conferences you do, not per year, per quarter, per month, that I see where you're on stage, keynote speaking, all that stuff. The publications you have with the university. We got to meet each other because we were both mentoring the same individual who introduced us to each other. So you're mentoring, you do things with the community. You're involved with the Pope, the Coptic Orthodox Pope, in some things where you're helping the community. who is Dr. Hany Ayaad? Who is Dr. Hany? The father, the professor, the mentor. In short, who are you? I want people to get to know our star and how you got to be this person.
Actually, what you mentioned, it's very overestimate about myself. Actually, the concept of uh, big part of that is related to the how you grown. I grown in a family. My father and my mother, they are very humble. My brother as well. They have gives a lots of support uh, during the old stages of my let's call it my journey, because I had a lots of ups and downs. I have a dream during my primary school to join the engineering college, and especially architecture, because I see my father a lot. My father is he's engineer. He's an uh, um, uh, mechanical engineer, navy mechanical uh, engineer, and he started to kind of a shift into the decoration industry. So I have been obsessed about what my father doing, and I'd love to be an architect, engineer. And in Egypt, it's based on your score in the secondary school. You have to decide which university to join. I failed to get the score to make me joining the engineering school. At that time, my parents that supported me to go for an private university, if you'd like. So I found this kind of an support and humble from my family to uh, do what I like to want, and they could see the light in yourself, even it's totally dark in surrounding. And I joined in a school called it's the law school, but it was bit new to study local law school in English. So it's called English section law school in Alexandria. Uh, at I think it was in the fourth year of starting. And once the first semester, I failed in the four subjects, and I get kind of an support of my parents. No worries, we will do it in the second semester. Don't be, uh, you're good. Actually, surrounding is people supporting you. You're good. And after 3 years of spending that time at the university, after the first year, I starting to do a business, and I went to a partner, because usually the business mindset, it's kind of an harsh in my mind to do businesses. So I started to get partnering with one of the family relevance to start something related to the pharmaceutical industry, because he was a pharmacist. And after 2 years, I realized that I'm not doing good at the university, but I'm doing good at business. But my parents, and especially my father, have a kind of he have a vision to me. I cannot see it. He told me that we could make a new start and start do something from the beginning at another school, and he's starting to support me to join the Arab Academy. And my youngest brother, uh, we have a kind of an 3 years educational difference. Starting to study logistics, he started to talk me about logistics. It's good, and the type of the university, and the how it much humble the communication between the students and the staff and other faculty members. So he's starting to encourage me, and I took the decision to shift from the law school to logistics.
Go Lean It. Go Lean It offers a symphony of efficiency through lean services and solutions, driving scalable and sustainable results. Visit goleanit.com.
This kind of shift, it's about kind of an God's, we can call it the God's direction, the God's door. So usually whenever door shuts, there is a bigger door open on the other side. And after the journey of uh, my academic journey, even undergraduate or postgrad at the new college or the university, I did my PhD in green supply chain management from an engineering school at Strathclyde University in Glasgow. So I'm back again to get my PhD from engineering school. So I'm so I'm PhD engineer at the end. So I forget my dream at the beginning that I would like to be an gay, but
That's how it works, mate. That's how it works.
forget your dream. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you were patient and you got what you wanted at the end, and that's what's important. But I want to just stress on the point of fear of failure, right? Because you mentioned it for yourself and how this worked out, and your dad was a great support of inspiration because he saw something bigger for you and something better for you, and he saw a vision for you. But how can leaders help teams overcome fear of failure? And especially with the younger generation, again, there's a whole way about this that the way they respond to failure may be different than our generation. So how can we help overcome that? And how does your program or yourself, with all the youth around you and this being an issue, how'd you go about it?
Um, I think, in my opinion, you have to have your rule at the beginning. And my personal rule here is there is no that kind of failure of fear of failure, because I'm usually counted is as one of the two things. If I succeed, so it's the good success, and if I failed, it's not a kind of failure, it's kind of learning. So
Learning.
we are usually in a kind of a continuing learning journey. So if you counted is the number of businesses that I have been in and failed in the last 20 years, and lots, if I counted by money, it's lost lots of money I have been lost. But the accumulated experience that you gain, and the accumulated type of situation that you could face, it's really it's very rich. So now I think I got the opportunity in 2019 to taught for DBA students entrepreneurship course. I didn't finish my at this time I didn't finish my PhD yet, and I'm going to have an kind of an lecturing for the last semester student from experience market. The Some of them HR group director for 38 companies, and many others. And I found that all the losses that I made during my that short time journey, I could build a good experience to provide for them and life experience in addition to some of the academic and practitioner activities. So the counting on how I could build my experience, my success, and my losses, it's the lump sum, post lump sum is your real value. In addition, uh, and I could remember some words from my father that sometimes I'm telling him why you're doing that with that guy or this lady. You're going to be supporting, you're being to be humble sometimes. And he told me that at that time it was very strange and very uh, I'm afraid to say that why you're saying that. He told me that what I'm doing now, I'm not waiting to get paid back. But sometimes, or one day, you will find someone giving you support. You will never know why he's giving you support, and what he's waiting from giving you that kind of support and that kind of pushing. But you will realize at that time that's other one did it for others. So I'm starting to think about I'm lucky to have this kind of encouragements and surrounding in my family. So
Which
that's
is
why,
play the infinite game, like not be
yes,
transactional. Because Gabby just said that in a podcast that was aired this week, and it was the exact same thing. He also referenced our father. I thought like the parallel was very good. I want to highlight one thing, and it speaks volumes of the type of leadership you have, the type of mentorship. I really appreciate that you took the question at face value and you chose to be vulnerable and speak about your failures. Not one, not two, but you've mentioned how many times it didn't work out. You could have chosen to hide it because clearly the way we introduced you, the success story, is a bright shining light. But you chose to speak about it. And I'm talking now to all the young people that follow our channels or who'll be watching this on LinkedIn. I recommend you follow Dr. Hany on LinkedIn and get to follow him. He chose to be vulnerable and talk about the failures because every failure that comes in your life has an end to it, whether it gives you an experience, a learning thing that you could share with others, and it shapes you. And I love that you put emphasis on this. Uh, really, thank you for doing this. So, with with that being said, um, when you're focusing on, I think you called it the Gen Z initiative.
yes.
Is i-
Mhm.
is that it? How are you noticing this shaping the new generation and the influence of AI coming in? How is that changing the landscape? Because there's so much changes happening so quickly. Since we deal with young guys, I'm pretty sure you are adapting to everything coming your way.
This podcast is sponsored by eSky, a revolutionary AI-powered state-of-the-art learning management system for small to mid-size enterprises.
Um, Let me highlight these Gen Z program, and it was a kind of a national program under the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research in Egypt. And I have honored to be the executive director for this what we call it. I think it's kind of a brilliant presidential initiatives. It's called the ISF, or Innovator Support Fund. Its fund comes from the university students and establishing the new uh, uh, universities. And these funds accumulated, it's come, I think, more than 2 billion Egyptian pound, the fund, and thinking about how we're gonna support the young innovators and young entrepreneurs at the universities. And one of these brilliant ideas, honestly, comes from the Minister of Higher Education at that time, and is giving me the task that we will start a program. It's called Gen Z. It's a TV show about the innovators at the universities. And me and my team start thinking about how we could make it real, because it's very hard to bring a kind of an TV show for innovators representing all the uh, Egyptian culture at one table, because it's the culture in Egypt, it's very diversified. When you come to an Alexandria at the north, or going towards the south, or Med Delta, or the main innovative hub in Cairo. So how are you gonna present all these diversity of the different levels of innovators and entrepreneurs, and even representing the different types of students at different personas in each type of universities? Because we have in national universities, we have governmental universities, we have private schools, we have international universities as well. So it's bit kind of an variety about the type of different types of uh, um, what we call it students and these types of persona. And we're starting to have a kind of segmenting how we going to segment based on location and based on gender and based on the type of innovation and the stages as well. So we have already running programs inside the universities. I didn't initiate it, but it's already uh, 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 it's running very well. So we're starting to make a kind of an new layer. This kind of layer, it will be kind of supporting what's already exists and bringing the top notch as scoring or as winners from these kind of activities. And the lump sum, we had more than one, I think more than 1,000 ideas, not ideas, it's a project with a team that's running. So we're starting to kind of an selecting based on the criteria that I mentioned, based on the geographical area, for sure, scoring at the beginning, but all the governors in Egypt are represented. All the different types of universities in Egypt are represented. All the two post genders are represented as well. And the different types of the sector that we mentioned, because as Malak mentioned, that the AI, it's very booming, starting at that time. So we can give portion for AI based startups, startups based on the energy, startups based on the biomedical, and many other sectors. We have, I think, 4 or 6 categories for the participants, and bring them all in one place and starting to make kind of base foundation. We need to make sure that they all have the same level of knowledge. And we're starting to give them kind of a condensed program for 4 5 days uh, at one time, and start to make lots of mentorship with them and learning them to uh, go through competition. I have been lucky because I've visited the entrepreneurship ecosystem at the States in 2017. And at that time, I have been obsessed by a program. It's called Dolphin Tank. Dolphin Tank program, it's more likely like Shark Tank, but it's not about giving an investment or fighting or trying to make a kind of an deal hunting, but it was more about giving them the proper insights to support their businesses. And we have been done this program also during Gen Z program at the beginning to make our participants from the students to be very familiar about going to talk with a jury member, take an insights from a diversity of these jury member. We have a jury member, I think 25 jury members. So each, at least each entrepreneur or each startup faced 5 or 6 jury members before they going for the TV show or be ready for the TV show. And at the end, we have an 50 startups represented on the TV in front of what we call it market leaders from different industries, uh, different ministers, and the prime minister himself also attended one of these TV show, and the lots of support that have been given to these students that encourage all the students all over Egypt to be have their dream that will be easily to will be realized through such type of program. And honestly, that's one that was one of the uh, 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 most impactful programs that I have been working in during, I think, the last year.
That's really
Interesting.
Yeah.
Egypt startup community is has become huge. Egypt economy is hitting up in the boom more than ever before. I see infrastructure, I see education, I see online, I see AI, all that stuff. I see Shark Tank Egypt. If someone that is outside of Egypt wants to participate as an investor and wants to take advantage of that boom, what would be your recommendation? How can they get in, especially that you sit on all these boards?
Cancel.org, redefining global consulting, delivering world-class solutions through proven methodology, measurable and sustainable results.
How do they contact you, etc.?
Actually, Egypt had a great initiative the last year, and they established the what we call it the Ministerial Committee for Entrepreneurship. It's kind of a committee from different ministries, including the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development, Ministry of Higher Education, Ministry of Investments, Ministry of Youth, Ministry of one of the first players on the entrepreneurship ecosystem, the Ministry of Communication, ICT. So we have multiple channels to be penetrated to penetrate the Egyptian ecosystem, even if you'd like to go for the governmental channels. So we have an communicating with this committee or the representative of these entities based on which industry that you are focusing on investing in it. That's one direction. Also, we have numbers of venture capitals, VCs nowadays running in Egypt, and we have, I think, one of the three. I think three. We have three angel networks. We have Alexandria Angel Network. We have Mediterranean Angel Network. We have Cairo Angels. We have Malaika as well, and also uh, uh, if you'd like that communicate with me, and I will be easily to connect you with the right person or directing what is the best way to start to communicate with.
So, like I said, follow him on LinkedIn. You can try to ping him uh, on LinkedIn. Henny, we're so honored to have you with us. Uh, I want to bring us to a close. And what is your message to the youth, since you deal with youth all the time, during these high volatile times, but also exciting times? I mean, we live in the most interesting times where technology is at its peak. There's augmented reality, AI, apps. It's easier than ever to start your own business, including your daughter. I might send you my son in the summer to get him, if put in your program. So what is your message to the youth?
Actually, I would like to tell the youth that they are giving us the message. So we usually inspired by youth. So all what I need to tell them that be more proud about the era that you are living in. You have I really know that there is multiple challenges that you are saving, maybe more than the all of us, but challenges make success, challenges make opportunities, challenges make the future. All the country that we are know nowadays that are in the what we call it well-developed countries, they comes from a lots of challenges that they are facing. So I think the challenges you are facing today, they're gonna shape not only your future, the future of the old generation.
Nice.
Well said.
Well said. Yeah, extremely well said. Hany, Dr. Hany, thank you so much for being with us. We're really honored. Follow him
We
on
have some.
LinkedIn and his all social media stuff.
We want to throw in some rapid questions.
You want to
before
rapid questions?
Yeah,
All let's do it.
right before we end it. But just before I say anything, Rian, do you have anything to say? Any questions before I jump in?
No, I think we got a lot out of that. I mean, it's Henny, you're obviously very busy, and you work with the youth, and all that kind of stuff is very impressive. But it's also setting the tone, for developing these startups and entrepreneurs. And this whole I think this whole field is busy opening up because people are realizing the impact of technology and especially the impact AI is going to have down the track. So I think with people like you out there being involved, with the youth and with the guys or with the people coming out of university, I just say good luck and yeah, perhaps we'll get you back on the show in a while to tell us how things have been progressing and how things are going. So yeah, I mean that's a lot of knowledge shared. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. I don't know how, but it's really nice being introduced to you and having a chat. So thank you very much.
All right, Dr. Hany, look, this is going to be very quick,
Yeah, we love this
and so
one.
I want quick answers. I'll give you some quick questions. So, Egypt is becoming a spotlight and in the business world, and has always been, but even more so now. What's the most underrated innovation strength the world should know more about, like that Egypt has? Is there something that you think is hidden?
The majority the number of incentives that Egypt nowadays giving to the startups, that's something need to be searching on because we have I think during the last 2-3 months only we have a huge number of incentives giving for the entrepreneurs and startups even from Egypt or would like to land or expand in Egypt. So
Awesome. Speaking of startups, what's one Egyptian startup right now that everyone should know about, or and one that maybe impresses you more than anything?
Go Lean It. Go Lean It offers a symphony of efficiency through lean services and solutions, driving scalable and sustainable results. Visit goleanit.com.
I think Mint Helen. It's an Egyptian startup led by Munir Nakhla. It's an Egyptian startups and now it's a unicorn. Um, Actually, in each field nowadays, you could find that someone or startups to hear more about.
Okay, and look, Malik and I are born in Alexandria, so we're a bit biased. But which one, Cairo or Alexandria, is producing the most energy when it comes to startups and entrepreneurship as of late?
Let me say it explicitly: born in Alexandria and grew in Cairo.
Okay. Okay.
So I be yeah. Oh, many of the brilliant ideas and startups really comes from an Alexandrian entrepreneurs, but to expand because the biggest market in Cairo, so they have to grow more in Cairo.
Uptown, baby.
Cool. Great.
Right.
And last question, just to make it a little fun, and we love food. So, which Egyptian food is both innovative and authentically Egyptian? So and someone like our friend Rian would you would proudly host him with that food. What would that be? Any foreigner would love to have.
Actually, all the foreigners have to come and have koshari.
Kosher.
So
There you go.
that's one of the famous. There is kind of an some mixing salts, but it's wrong one. That the koshari comes from an Indian food, but koshari it's an authentic Egyptian food, and any food you are gonna have it in Egypt, you will never forget. It's all are delicious.
Yeah, he always because he knows that the truth.
Just be ready with your future weight. Just
For the future.
I will be the 400-pound man on this podcast in about a year.
Awesome.
Thank
Well,
you,
thank you so
Dr.
much for taking the
Yes,
time.
awesome.
We're
Yep.
really honored and grateful that you took the time to come with us. It's been a fantastic couple of minutes with each other, and we're definitely going to have you come back again because it's been very enjoyable. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Dr. Hany. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Hany. Take care. See you on the